Hi students! Today for our read aloud, I'm going to read for you a book called Nina, and it tells the story of Nina Simone, who is an incredible piano player. And I first have a video for you. We're gonna watch her play the piano, and then I'm gonna show you the book. And you're going to follow along with me as I read for you this book called Nina. Now, when you go into Epic today, you might get a little worried because Mrs. Thurman assigned you a lot of books today. You don't need to read all of those books today, but I do want you to make sure that you spend at least 30 minutes reading all these books that I assigned for you today. You will also have time tomorrow, and please make sure that you read these books. They are so important. All right, so let's get started. So first I'd like to show you the books that I assigned you today. This is the one that I'm going to be reading as our read aloud. But when you go to your assignments in Epic, you'll see all of these books. I want you to be reading about the civil rights movement. I know that you've learned about it before, but it's so important that you're rereading and revisiting the things that you know about the civil rights movement so that you can make the connection to the Black Lives Movement that we talked about yesterday. This is an incredible moment in our history, and it's really great if you're making those connections. Okay? So it starts down here at Juneteenth. And I want you to spend at least 30 minutes going through these books and really thinking about what the message is and why is your teacher assigning them to you, and what do you think about these books and the civil rights movement and the Black Lives Matter movement. So this is the book that I'll be reading for you today. You can always log back in and read it for your assignment as well. But let's get started with the video. So the book is called Nina, and I will be reading it to you. This is Nina. This is Nina Simone. This is a song that she wrote. It's called I Wish I Knew How It Would Feel to Be Free, 1976. I put a link to this video in your Google Classroom as well, so if you want to go back and watch it again, you can. Let's listen. Wow, wasn't it amazing? And that was just 1 minute. So I'm going to start the book now, students. But again, this link is on your Google Classroom. So if you want to go back and hear more, it will be linked to there. All right, so the book that we'll be reading today for our read aloud is Nina, jazz legend and civil rights activist, Nina Simone. Nina, jazz legend and civil rights activist, Nina Simone, by Alice Brere-Hackett, illustrated by Bruno Liance. For my Lisa, ABH, for Stephanie, Benoit, and Romaine, BL. Go to sleep, my precious one. Day is done and night is near. When you wake, you'll see the sun. Wish you for a star to steer. That is a lullaby sung by singer-songwriter and civil rights activist Nina Simone to her daughter. Dream, my baby, dream, until you spread your wings. Hey, my child, my sweet child, You are having a hard time falling asleep tonight, so listen to my story. It starts like stories often do, with a baby wrapped in a white sheet and her mother smiling at her. The little baby was black. The little baby was me. I don't remember that, of course. My first childhood memory came a little bit later. I must have been about 3 years old. I thought the piano looked like there were 52 white teeth and 36 black teeth trapped in the keyboard. The black keys were smaller. The white keys are whole notes and the black keys are flats or half notes, my teacher explained. I asked why. Well, because that's just the way it is. Yes, that's the way it was. White was whole, black was half. It was that way, everywhere and for everyone. I could have held it against people, or worse, I could have believed I was worth less than other people. Black people were nothing but half notes on a huge ivory keyboard. But no, I did not agree with this. The notes had to mingle and dance together in the air so these lies would disappear. Music has no color. In music, there is only one rhythm, only one beat. Ba-boom, ba-boom. The heartbeat per second, the same rhythm for everyone. Standing on the bus with my eyes closed, I reminded myself of this. The years went by. I played Mozart, Liszt, Beethoven, Chopin, Debussy. I played all the important men in powdered wigs from past centuries. I was talented. People told me so. Students, these names are the names of these men who have created songs on the piano that are very famous and they're still played today. When I was 12 years old, our church asked me to give a performance. Mom sewed a beautiful white dress with pleats and pretty ribbons. God knows she was proud. Her daughter was giving a concert. My mom, my sweet mom, she sat in the front row with her radiant smile. Then white people arrived, and she had to get up. I squeezed my eyes tight so I could listen to my dreams dance in the air. But there was nothing except silence and injustice. So I refused. Right there in front of black and white people, I didn't care. The only noise was my heart beating, and it was beating for my mother. It was her right to be in the front row. So Mom sat back down. She wasn't smiling anymore, and my fingers were trembling with anger. But the concert was beautiful. Hey, child, my sweet child. Later, much later, in fact, you were already born, a man arrived on our TV screens, on our radios, in our newspapers, and he said, I have a dream. Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. He believed in it, and people followed him. Decent housing now, jobs for all now, equal rights now, voting rights now, young, gifted, and black, a decent pay now. Students, are you seeing images like this on the news today? Again, we need to remember history so that we can have power and overcome. People are still fighting for these things today. We need to speak up. We need to do what's right. Finally. Martin's dream was my symphony. Black and white people could come together in the big dance of life. Hey, child, my sweet child. Sometimes it seems as if that dream came true. But the dream is fragile, and you have to take care of it. Dream, my baby, dream, until you spread your wings. So students, these are the books that are assigned for you today. Please go in and read them for at least 30 minutes. So important. I so wish that I could be there with you during this time and have these conversations and have these history lessons and talk to you about your experiences. So please, students, talk with your parents about what you're learning and what you already know. You know so much about the civil rights movement, and you know what's right and what should change. So I encourage you to talk with your family members and talk with me, message me. Let's have a conversation about Black Lives Matter movement and civil rights, and let's make connections and let's be strong and do what's right. Remember, you are so valuable. You are so, so loved.